thing is, so this is my top, and this is the spine. So this is, when I take it, paper, I'm always paying attention that this is my top, and this is my side. So the reason I'm saying that is the first time I take it, I'm going to take one of the signatures off, and I'm going to take the cover off. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it. And this is my top, okay? The first part of this process is to put your needles and your thread, you're through. You start from the inside, and you're going to pull it through. Just let it hang for a minute. And you're going to do the same on this side. Then what you're going to do is you're going to watch. This is the part that, stuff gets starts getting tangled when you have long threads. So just kind of put that off to the back. You're going to take your two needles and you're going to hold them together so that when you pull it down, it's even. You want to have your two lengths from your signature down even. So where my hand is, my thumb is to the spine, those are even on both sides, right? Then you're going to put your signature here and you're going to kind of hold it back. Now, remember, this is your top. We're flipping it and we're going to take, I always start with the top on this one, and I'm going to put it in my first hole. I'm going to press it through and I'm going to pull it through and I'm going to pull it until it kind of wraps there lightly. This goes to my right. This tail goes to my right. The next one, I'm going to do the same thing. I pull it through. And I pull it down loose. It is also to the right. This is the only time that you're going, oh, this goes to the right, because this is what's going to happen. We're flipping it. You're going to align that paper, your folded edge, spine to spine, kind of give yourself that 1/8 of an inch all around.
They don't have it.
Oh, you don't have it. Sorry. If you have it, if not, you're going to align it. Let's just say you're going to align it everywhere. So then I'm holding it. This is where you need to learn and work and get this hand doing one job and your other hand doing the sewing job. This is my kind of weight and my other tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it down. It's all in position. I'm holding it a little bit off of the edge of the table. You want to sit sideways so that you can work it by having your hand here resting on the table, manipulating and holding the paper this way, and this is your hand to work with. When you're coming through with your needle, you're coming down off of the table and you're not hitting a hard surface, okay? So what you're going to do now is very gently, you're going to kind of pull this kind of taut, all right? It's off the table, so I've got a little, I'm not pressing it up against the table. Holding it in place, flipping it over, seeing how that aligns, giving it another gentle tug to make it taut. Very important that these are taut. If they're loose, your cover's going to be all wobbly, okay? So it's nice and taut. I'm going to flip it back over and I'm going to lay it down. Now, when you're pulling your thread to make things taut, you always pull straight out. Do not pull this way or this way because you'll rip your paper. So I'm pulling, again, I'm in a good position. They're tight there, but I'm going to just not put the weight here. I'm just going to hold this, but I'm going to give it that little bit of a tug because I'm paranoid and I like things tight. So then I'm going to put my thumb there to hold that down underneath. I'm going to go to my needle and I'm going to put it between the signature and the cover. I'm going to lift that up with my finger like that and hold it out, and I'm going to put that between the signature and the cover, and I'm coming behind the thread that's going up, okay? And you're going to pull it through, and you're going to not get it tangled like I just did, and you're going to kind of just keep on holding this up so it doesn't get tangled in with each other. You're going to make a little loop. You're going to come back up through that loop. I'm always managing my threads on myself or off the table, because when you have 4 or more, they start getting really tangled. So you're always managing your tools. So I'm going to pull that through. When I get here, what I do is I like to pull this to get that tight against kind of the knot starting there, and then I pull it up. It just kind of controls it, and that's a little bit thick there, but it does a way of like just kind of pulling it towards the text block and then pulling it up. It gives a nicer, tighter feel, and it keeps it more consistent. Because sometimes I have a problem sometimes with consistency on making it the same tightness. So here's my second one, is I'm gonna go behind, see where I'm going behind right there? The thread, and I'm pulling through. I'm managing it by holding that up. My finger here is tightened, holding down the loop. I might give that a little bit more of a tug if I'm feeling like I didn't pay attention enough. I go through. When it's about there, I kind of just pull that way, and then I pull it up, and it gives a nice tight, it's a little bit, that's okay. Then bone fold. Take your next signature, top. So you're flipping it. Now Anne has another way, and she can show you, but I'm not showing you because it'll confuse me. So then you're gonna go in through the bottom. I always start with the bottom just because it's closest to me, it's my rhythm. But always, I try to always do the same every time, because then you kind of get into that rhythm and you don't mess up. You don't forget like the process. So you're gonna go in there, and you're gonna go in here. And this is where, again, when you're working more than 2 stations, you want to have like this area clean so you can have your threads kind of off in different areas. Okay, so I'm going to pull this to the edge and do my alignment. Now that bottom one's off a little bit, so I'm going to kind of work this one this way a tiny bit. It doesn't matter as much with mine because I've got torn paper. It's not as tight. So then you're going to pull this kind of straight out a little bit and straight out so that those knots, that area goes tighter. Then always holding this in place. I'm taking and using this hand to bring the thread over to hold. So this stayed in position to keep things tight, and hold that over. Because the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in, and this is, you go in to the right of your thread there, because you're going out that hole with the other thread. If you start feeling tension, it might mean that you are going through the thread instead and splitting it. If you feel that tension, pull it out right away. You can wiggle it and put it back in. Sometimes holding this up in a different position will help you get it through without splitting the thread. So then I'm going here, and I'm going to the outside again of the hole. So at the top it's to the right, on the bottom it's to the left. And then you're pulling it down. Now, with this, when I started, remember I said the cord should always be hanging on the left. So you're always going to do the same kind of loop and rotation and tying in of your signatures. You don't go one way one time and one way the other. So you're going to take this. Now we've got this tight. I just pulled it straight. I'm holding that up. I'm going in here, down 2. So this is the signature it's coming out of. That's the one below it. You're going to go below the second signature. So this is the only case where you have 2 going through to, between the signature and the board.
Got it.
The next one will go between two signatures. So you're going to pull that through to get your loop, and you're going to go this way, and you're going to pull that a little bit tight, and you're going to pull up. Then you're going to come to this one, down 2, through, hold that up, don't poke yourself. And then this, I don't know if I pulled it, I like, sometimes I pull it a little bit if I don't know if I remember if I've tightened it on the inside, because you won't want your inside stitches to be loose either. So that's why I kind of always give those little gentle tugs along the way. So I'm going to pull this tight and pull that up, and we have a second signature in. The third signature.
Bone fold.
Bone fold, thank you. Gold star, gold star. Ricky, my go-to is I attach this and then go, oh, I forgot to bone fold, and then I go in between. Yeah, but before I tie
That's
it.
the reason I remembered it.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
So good.
Okay, so then you're doing the same thing. I flipped it. I'm going in. Oops, I'm going in with both of them, and then when I come to, I'm not gonna do this one unless you guys want me to. I can just do one more. So this is going to be the third signature sewing in. Ta-da. And I'm aligning it. I'm pulling these straight out to get it tight out here. I'm just watching that that's aligned the way I want it to. I'm holding this thread. I'm going for the bottom needle, I'm crossing over, I'm going to the outside of the hole, I'm pulling through, and not catching on the corner. And then because this one's already pulled tight, you don't really have to do the same thing. I'm always kind of just keep on holding the paper in place. That one you can kind of, you already have it pulled to the, get yourself that space. So then you pull that through, and see, the reason I keep pulling down or pulling straight out is so that's tighter in there. You don't want it super loose inside. All right, so I have that. Now, this is not aligned very well, that side. So then, this is where you go down 2, and you're now going, here's the signature you came out of, here's the second one, and you're going between the second and the bottom one. The only time you're not going with the wrong needle, though. I just grabbed the needle from the top, yeah. So this is the nice thing with the curved needles, is see how it loops around and you don't have to, it's very easy to go, oops. So, okay, down 2 with the right needle from the right thread through there.
So you always go down 2?
Always go down 2.
Okay.
And the only time that there's 2, the first signature and the second signature go between the cover and the first signature, because the way the first one locks in. And so I'm doing a little bit of a correction because that first one went, I'm trying to pull that a little bit to the edge. So hopefully it'll do it. All right?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So you guys get started.